Hello, this is Sylvan Trifle Production with another Blender quick tip. And in this quick tip, I'm going to show you how you can get shadows in the Blender. Pretty much shadows that are unique using this add-on. It's not really an add-on, it's an asset browser kind of thing called the Gobos add-on. And it's for Blender 3.4. That's what I'm using. I think it's for 3.0 and above. Anything below that, it won't work. And I'll leave a link of it below this video so you can check it out yourselves and give it a shot. But the way to install it isn't the same way as all the other add-ons because you have to see it or view it in the asset browser. And to install it, you go to Edit, Preferences, File Paths. I've already had it installed, but you just click on this folder and navigate to where the Gobos light textures add-on is, and you just pretty much let Blender know that, hey, this is where the add-on is. Now if you have a situation where you have all these pretty much slots filled in, just click on this plus sign and it will give you an extra slot to navigate for that folder. Once you've done that, you can just go to click on this hamburger button and click on Save Preferences. Sometimes with autosave, it doesn't save it automatically, so just click on Save Preferences just to be sure. And we're going to close this out. And to see the add-on or the assets for the add-on yourself, left click and drag, hover your mouse over the left click and drag over to separate or divide the window or the user interface into two different windows. Click on this icon and go to Asset Browser, and then click on this option here, and from the drop down menu click on Gobos Lights, and now you have this. It has quite a few categories. If you click on this arrow here, it gives you all the categories. It's got abstract, animated leaves, caustic, so on and so forth, clouds. And the whole concept of this add-on or these assets actually is to pretty much portray shadows from light sources onto objects underneath the light source. And it's got animated ones too. These are all animated ones, but we're going to just stick with the images, basically the ones that are just still images. And let's scroll up, or actually scroll down. And let's go to, let me see, let's click on this one, Forest 02. You just left click and drag over into this window and you let go, and there it is. Now we're going to choose our move gizmo, left click on that, left click and drag on the Z axis and position it over our cube. Let's go into the top view by pressing 7. We're going to put our Gobos light texture over our cube here. Now this only works in cycles, it doesn't work in Eevee. So we're going to click on this icon here from Eevee to cycles and use our GPU. We're going to expand our window here by left clicking and dragging. Scroll up here with our mouse wheel till we come to this icon, which will change our viewport render. So just left click on that and see what we can see. And as you can see, excuse me, you can see the shadows of trees on top of the cube. Now the settings for the Gobos light textures is in the light options here. Left click on that. You can change the color, the power of it. You can change the, let me see, the strength. Now with this, the shadows are kind of light. So I'm going to left click in there and turn this to 50, enter. And that kind of gives us some darker shadows, but a brighter light might be a little bit too much. Left click in there, let's turn this to 25, enter. So this is not too bad. And you can change the color, like I said before, to red, green, blue, whatever color you want. Now I've seen that with some of these, with all of them actually, it's not just a solid shadow that you're going to see. You'll see darker shadows and lighter ones also, because of the fact that it gives the shadows depth. Whenever the sun is reflecting or coming through trees, in leaves, there are some trees or branches, I guess, that are closer to the light source than other branches. So you have different levels of darkness to the shadows, which is cool. Now, the real test that I want to put it through is to see if I can, excuse me, actually use like 2.8, a product I'm doing in 2.8, if I could bring it into this version of Blender. Excuse me again, I've got something in my throat, but bringing it into this version of Blender and to see if the light textures will work. And we're going to do this from scratch. I'm going to turn this off. Don't save. And I'm going to open up Blender. Let me see. This is 2.81. We're going to start up a scene real quick with Suzanne and the cube and save it. And then we're going to bring it into Blender 3.4 and see if the Gobos light texture works on this particular scene. Have our cube, let's press Shift on our keyboard, go to Mesh, Monkey. We're going to pull her up. Just leave her as she is. File, save. I'm going to save this on the desktop. Let me call it Gobos, G-O-B-O-S. Save Blender file. Close that out again. Going to open up Blender 3.4. Shouldn't take too long to open up. There we go. Go to File, Open, Desktop, Gobos.blend, Open. And there she is. We're going to do the same thing we did the first time. Open up the Asset Browser. Go to Asset Browser, left click, Gobos. There's our Gobos. Here's the moment of truth. Let's change the rendering in our viewports to cycles, GPU compute. And we're going to, let me see, let's get abstract. Left click and drag this over. Let go. Going to pull this up on the Z axis. Left clicking and dragging on the Y and Z axis. You can see what's going to happen. Let's change our zoom in, scroll in with our mouse wheel to see what we can see. And left click on that icon, let's see what happens. And yes, it works. Okay, so it does work. So if you save a project in 2.8, I don't think it works for 2.7 and below, but 2.8 and above, you save a project in it, anything other than 3.0, I guess. Save it and open it up in 3.0 or 3.4, whatever version you're using for the Gobos texture pack, and it will work. Yeah, so that's good news to know. Yeah, but that's today's Blender quick tip: how to use Gobos light textures, how it works, and all the adjustments and how you can use it. And I hope this introduction to the add-on, so to speak, was helpful for those of you who are watching. And once again, thank you guys who have subscribed in the past, those of you who are subscribing now, and those of you who will subscribe in the future. And I will see all of you on the next one. All right, adios.